What was supposed to be a night of celebration turned into disaster after 4 friends who were all drunk left the bar in the city without a designated driver. Designate a driver. Don't drink and drive.
This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Monday, the 18th day of November in the year 2024. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting, and here's what we're tracking tonight. The Guyana Elections Commission GECOM this afternoon responded to statements made by the opposition and PNC reform leader Norton that at the next elections he will ensure his party's polling agents object to foreigners voting in the elections. Mr. Norton made the comments this past weekend at a public meeting in Region 5.
Let me tell them, when we put polling officers in the polling station and they can't talk proper English, you must know. A lot of the children who returned from Venezuela of Guyanese descent, they can speak English.
Yes!
And so we will know that. But this government's plot is to bring people into this country to use them to vote because they recognize they are unpopular. We will not accept that.
In its statement this afternoon, the Elections Commission reminded that in order for any name to be listed on the official list of electors, persons must satisfy the eligibility criteria for registration, as stipulated in the National Registration Act, Chapter 1908. The Commission further explained that the law provides for a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, naturalization or registration, or a citizen of the Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more to be eligible for registration. As such, the Elections Commission said, once a person has satisfied those requirements and have provided authentic supporting documentation, that person is registered in accordance with the legal provisions. GECOM said it is the constitutional agency that is responsible for the conduct of elections in Guyana, and it is perturbed at Mr. Norton's statements that it believes can potentially cause fear and harm to eligible voters exercising their constitutional right on Elections Day. The Commission said elections are managed by the Elections Commission, and political party agents have no authority to determine who votes or not. The Elections Commission said once a person's name is on the voters list, it means that all the necessary legal and administrative scrutiny were done, and that person is qualified to be so listed. GECOM said it is important to note that scrutineers from the People's National Congress Reform are permanently present at all GECOM registration offices countrywide and are actively involved in the registration process, including the signing off on the accuracy of applications for registration transactions. The Commission said it must be emphasized that an election official or security personnel can be prosecuted for committing election offenses, such as deliberately obstructing or interfering with the work of an election officer and intimidating eligible voters or electors. The Commission is urging political stakeholders to be responsible and cautious about their comments in the public domain, as those comments can potentially affect or have an effect on the electoral process. GECOM also said even if a person speaks a foreign language, mechanisms are in place for that person to cast their ballot once they meet the eligibility criteria. The opposition has been complaining about the size of the voters list, which currently has more than 600,000 people in a country with a population of just over 700,000. More news coming up in just a moment.
It all starts with one. Maybe it's one look, you know the one, or one touch, even one word. It can start with one step, or one promise, one thrill, one first time, one deep breath, one leap of faith, one day to remember, or one night to forget, one moment So many stories that make up one crazy, average, everyday, fabulous life. We get one life, just one. Make your move. It all starts with one.
Your own home is so much more than just four walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank. We're the one for you.
Honey, what were you doing? Let's cash out. Let's cash out.
Shop $5,000 or more at any Massey stores for a chance to win a 2024 Nissan Qashqai Sense and $100,000 every 2 weeks with Massey Stores Christmas Jackpot Promotion.
Let's tell you now that the Vice President, Jagdeo, has rushed to the defense of the chairman of the Elections Commission, retired Justice Claudette Singh, in wake of criticism from the opposition. The opposition continues to accuse Singh of showcasing bias at the Elections Commission and always siding with the government-nominated commissioners. At a press conference last Thursday, Mr. Jagdeo said the opposition's criticism borders on attempts to pressure the GECOM chair into compromising her constitutional responsibilities. He praised the GECOM chairman for her commitment to upholding the rule of law and maintaining the integrity of Guyana's electoral process.
I think she would act in an unconstitutional manner. She will not act. It's not about supporting the PPP or APNU. It's about what is right, what is constitutional. She would follow the law. That's how she is. She's done this all the time.
The vice president rejected accusations from the opposition that Singh has been colluding with the government, labeling such claims as baseless and a deliberate strategy to undermine trust in electoral institutions. Mr. Jagdeo recounted instances where Singh had ruled against the PPP when she sat as a judge on the High Court.
Claudette Singh ruled it was unconstitutional and cut short the PPP's term. They agreed with the law. We agreed with, passed it unanimously. They lost the election, turned around and challenged the law and Claudette Singh. They didn't say that about Claudette Singh at that time.
The vice president also criticized the opposition's calls for the removal of names from the voters list, calling those demands unconstitutional and contrary to prior court rulings.
You think Claudette Singh can, as a former judge, a respected judge in this country, after the Chief Justice has ruled that you can't remove people from the list, it would be unconstitutional, will go and remove people's name from the list?
Jagdeo characterized the opposition's behavior as an attempt to intimidate the GECOM chair and destabilize the democratic process. He said the behavior is unacceptable. He also said his party and the government remain committed to free, fair, and transparent elections. The opposition has previously raised concerns about the integrity of the voters list and what they describe as favoritism within GECOM. Embattled Assistant Police Commissioner Calvin Brutus was back in court today to face the remaining 201 charges filed against him on allegations of fraud and money laundering. When Brutus made his first court appearance back in October to face the initial 31 charges, he appeared before the acting chief magistrate dressed in his police uniform. However, he was dressed in full civilian attire today as he made his second court appearance. Before the acting chief magistrate, Faith McGusty, the assistant police commissioner was told that he is not required to enter a plea to the 201 indictable charges related to liability of an official. Through his attorney Hubert Alicock, representation was made for him to be granted bail. The court was reminded that he was granted bail in the sum of $6.2 million after his first court appearance. Taking that into consideration and the other pleadings of the attorney, the magistrate granted bail for the additional charges in the sum of $10.5 million. Brutus will also have to report regularly to the Special Organized Crime Unit as part of the bail agreement. His attorney, Hubert Allicock, told reporters that the Assistant Police Commissioner maintains his innocence of all of the charges filed against him and will fight every one of those charges.
Mr. Brutus would just like to remind the public that he is repudiating any of these allegations or charges and reaffirming his innocence, and to state that he plans to, with all full vim and vigor, to defend these allegations. And on the next court date, we intend to show as much as we can regarding these matters.
The charges were found against Mr. Brutus based on the investigations of the Special Organized Crime Unit of the Guyana Police Force. Those investigations initially focused on entries into the credit union accounts of the Assistant Police Commissioner. However, after SOCU received additional information from the Financial Intelligence Unit, it expanded its probe and uncovered the multiple accounts linked to the Assistant Commissioner, his wife, their toddler son, and 3 companies registered to them. Those accounts were found with $500 million in them, and the SOCU probe also uncovered large withdrawals in recent months and the purchase of properties by Brutus. 8 of the 9 accounts were frozen by the court. While the Bureau of Statistics has recommended the Guyana Labor Force Survey, which is a quarterly household survey that provides key insights into the country's labor market, including employment, unemployment, and underemployment. In a statement today, the Bureau explained that a sample survey is conducted in all 10 regions among persons who are 15 years old and over, regardless of employment status. Areas to be covered in the survey include household composition and demographic characteristics, internal migration, education, vocational and professional training, job search and availability to work, income from main job, business, and hours of work. Equipped with their official badge, enumerators will be visiting households to record the data using questionnaires found on the tablet they'll be carrying. The Bureau of Statistics said the survey will provide national-level labor force indicators, which will then be used by the government to identify the challenges that Guyana faces in the area of employment promotion and to develop, manage, and evaluate labor market policies and programs which support economic growth, training opportunities, and job creation. The Bureau said it is important for all selected households to participate, explaining that their input is crucial to developing a comprehensive understanding of labor trends and challenges in the country. It assured that the information provided will be treated with the strictest of confidence in keeping with the Statistics Act, which ensures the confidentiality of all information collected, and several penalties if breaches of confidentiality occur. It said all data collected and analyzed will be provided to the public in aggregated and summarized format.
The Guyana Elections Commission GECOM is currently conducting a national registration exercise. Who can register? Anyone who will be 14 years or older by December 31st, 2024 and is a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, naturalization, or is a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more. Types of transactions. Anyone eligible for registration is required to visit the registration office responsible for his or her area of residence to apply for registration. Persons who are already registered could apply for a name change if they have changed their names since they were last registered. Apply for corrections if there is incorrect information on their national ID cards. Persons who are desirous of conducting any of the above transactions must provide the relevant supporting documents. Persons who are already registered could request that their photographs be retaken if the quality of the photographs on their ID cards is unacceptable. Collect their new ID cards if they have not done so as yet. This registration exercise will end on November 29, 2024. For further information, please contact GECOM on the following hotline numbers: 225-027729, 226-6557, 223-9650, or visit the GECOM website at www.gecom.org.gy.
so much more than just four walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank. We're the one for you.
It all starts with one. Maybe it's one look. You know the one. Or one touch. Even one word. I can start with one step. Or one promise. One thrill. One first time. One deep breath. One leap of faith. One day to remember. Or one night to forget. One moment. So many stories that make up one crazy, average, everyday, fabulous life. We get one life. Just one. Make your move. It all starts with one.
The Opposition Alliance for Change sees the non-release of the report of the 2022 population and housing census as unacceptable, and the party wants that report released sooner. AFC leader Nigel Hughes expressed his disappointment on Friday over the situation.
It is completely unacceptable that we are now almost to the end of November and we still have not got any definitive word on the date for the release of the census.
Mr. Hughes also said the delay in the release of the census results would only lead to unnecessary speculation and anxiety in relation to the population size and other details about the population, including the employment rate. The AFC leader wants the census results to be released no later than the end of this month.
And we would like to issue a very, very strong call that there be an immediate commitment that the census be released before the 30th of November 2024. I think anything other than that is going to lead to unnecessary speculation, as it has already started in relation to the reason for the delay. We're already 2 years off.
Back in October, the Bureau of Statistics said a preliminary report on the 2022 population and housing census would be released soon. It said the delay in the publication of the census results is strictly as a result of its unwavering commitment to professional diligence in the face of considerable challenges encountered during the census round. The Bureau has urged. It said, like Guyana, other censuses across the Caribbean region have been significantly delayed, with countries such as Barbados, Grenada, Jamaica, Dominica, and St. Lucia experiencing protracted census activities extending up to and beyond 2 years. The Bureau had also used the opportunity to dispel claims that the 2022 population and housing census shows that Guyana's population declined from 746,955 in the 2012 census due to migration. It also assured that a preliminary report of the census will provide an evidence-based exposition of Guyana's population. On the police blotter right now, tragedy gripped an E-Field Sophia area on Saturday morning when a fire that was accidentally set by 2 young children playing with matches claimed the life of their 11-month-old sister, Melvina Blair, and completely destroyed the family's small wooden house. One of the 2 young children who survived the fire is hospitalized with serious burn injuries. According to a report from the fire service, the mother of the children, Tanisha Israel, left the children at home to work at a building located just 5 houses away. She was alerted when persons in the area raised an alarm about the fire. The small wooden structure quickly went up in flames. The fire service reported that it was found that the 2 older children, ages 6 years old and 4 years old, were playing with matches when the fire caught on to some combustible material in the house and quickly spread. The children made it out of the burning building, but the baby was left behind. Firefighters could do very little when they arrived at the scene, other than to contain the blaze and rush the children to the hospital. The mother of the children broke down in tears and was consoled by her neighbors and other persons. She explained that she had just stepped out of the building just down the road. This scene was visited by the Minister of Home Affairs, Robeson Ben, and the Human Services Minister, Dr. Vinya Prasad, who both offered condolences to the parents of the child who died. The fire service said the death of the 11-month-old child serves as a stark reminder of the devastating and unpredictable nature of fires, reminding that as the community comes together to support the grieving family, fire safety measures must be practiced to prevent similar tragedies in the future. Still with police matters, 2 days after she was brutally chopped about her body, 28-year-old Tagwanti Moti of Mahaika, East Coast of Marara, succumbed to her injuries on Saturday afternoon at the Georgetown Hospital after undergoing multiple surgeries. Her assailant, 26-year-old Uram Durbwesa, passed away on Friday at the same hospital. He was admitted there after ingesting a poisonous substance, according to a police report. The police reported the incident stated that on Thursday night, the two got into an argument at the woman's residence, and during that argument, the man armed himself with a cutlass and slashed his girlfriend, Tagwanti Moti. She was slashed to the neck and one of her arms. The suspect reportedly ingested a poisonous substance moments later, and both were rushed to the Georgetown Hospital. Less than 24 hours after being admitted, the murder suspect died. His victim passed away the very next day. The matter remains under police investigation.
Guyana's economy is rapidly transforming, and we're all part of it. Guyana is at the forefront of this development by providing reliable and efficient energy and supporting community development from the very core. 100% of Guyana's profit goes back to building schools, roads, and other important infrastructure that connects our cities and towns, providing fuel to domestic, marine, industrial, and aerial transportation. Guyana has now repositioned itself as a market leader in the petroleum industry, building a better future for all of us.
GECOM is currently conducting a national registration exercise. Who can register? Anyone who will be 14 years or older by December 31, 2024 and is a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, naturalization, or is a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more. Where to apply for registration? You are required to visit the registration office that is responsible for the registration of persons in your area of residence to apply for registration. Office hours, Monday to Thursday, 8 to 12 hours, 13 hours to 16 hours 30, and Friday from 8 to 12 hours and 13 to 15 hours 30. The offices will be closed on weekends and holidays. This registration exercise will end on November 29, 2024. For further information, contact the GECOM on 225-027729 or visit the website www.gecom.org.gy.
What was supposed to be a night of celebration turned into disaster after 4 friends who were all drunk left the bar in the city without a designated driver. Designate a driver. Don't drink and drive.
It all starts with one. Maybe it's one look. You know the one. Or one touch. Even one word. I can start with one step. Or one promise. One thrill. One first time. One deep breath. One leap of faith. One day to remember. Or one night to forget. One moment. So many stories. that make up one crazy, average, everyday, fabulous life. We get one life, just one. Make your move. It all starts with one.
Across the region tonight, slow-moving tropical depression Sarah unleashed major rainfall over Honduras this past weekend, causing at least one death while forcing thousands to flee their homes and destroying bridges and the highway due to flooding, officials said on Sunday. Airports in the capital and industrial hub, San Pedro Sula, were shuttered. Sarah turned to the northwest where it made landfall on neighboring Belize on Sunday. The center of the storm has been moving away from Belize, and the government on Sunday urged locals to take all necessary precautions. Venezuelan authorities have released more than 100 people arrested following July's contested presidential election, according to a local rights group. The group said more than 1,800 people were arrested for their role in mass protests following the elections. Electoral authorities loyal to President Nicolas Maduro announced him the victor, but the claim has been widely rejected by the international community. After Maduro claimed victory, anti-government protests erupted. Hundreds have been charged with crimes including terrorism, incitement to hatred, and resistance to authority. Maduro is set to begin his third six-year term in January. Official results for July's election, published by the National Electoral Council, claimed Maduro won 52% of the vote, to the opposition candidates 43%. And finally tonight, international news. The BBC reports that US President Joe Biden's apparent green light for Ukraine to strike Russia with US-made long-range missiles has caused consternation among some of Donald Trump's allies. Trump himself has not commented, but he won the election after promising to end the war, and several people close to him have condemned the move as dangerous escalations. Biden has committed tens of billions of dollars to Ukraine's war effort, and at the weekend he reportedly ditched a long-standing red line on Ukraine's use of American weaponry to launch attacks deep into Russia. Donald Trump Jr. tweeted that the US president was trying to get World War III going before his father took office. Biden's decision has not been formally confirmed, and it may never be. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky said no such announcement was forthcoming, and that the missiles will speak for themselves. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting and encouraging you to have a safe and enjoyable night.